Hey, Tony talking trash about music today again on a hot day here in West Virginia. And I'm finishing up my little dilly dally here on the great Roxy music. Bryan Ferry, Manzaran, Phil Mancera, uh, Andy McKay. Those are the three main members. And of course, Eno and the bass player that they have this week. And no. It was a good band while it lasted, and it's amazing how Bryan Ferry really kind of, in a way, kind of shoehorned it into the later era, kind of shoehorned a little bit into his own style, and they kind of brought both together. But the truth of it is that for some reason, against all my instincts, or maybe against the way it's presented, uh, I always wanted to fight that it was Brian's thing. Everybody wanted to seem like it was, some other kind of a record. But the truth of it is that, he was the man. So let's count down my 20 favorite tracks of Roxy music, the band that certainly influence went clear through the threads of the 80s, 90s until now, and really influenced everybody's idea of what an elegant and eloquent frontman should be. And number 20, let's talk about Stranded and Mother of Pearl, one of my favorites. From my favorite, probably one of my favorite from that record. There's a lot of good ones from there, but I think that's one of the ones that you heard live and that you'd hear when it went for. We're going to go to my favorite record, as you know, number 19, For Your Pleasure with Bogus Man. And didn't know whether to put this one on or not. There's a lot of candidates down there when you get to the bottom, but I just think with the sound of it, and I love that record so much. As that's probably my favorite sound influence on the whole scene. It's really difficult to put a finger on one thing. It's just a vision and a driving home, and really helped them a lot too. I know Eno gets a lot of credit for it, and that's the real debate: should he get it, or Cape Ferry, or should he get any credit? With that, Virginia Plain is my number 18. Of course, the single from the original Roxy music, the quirky, weird song with a scalloping synthesizer sound through it. That's number 17. Let's go back to Stranded again with a beautiful sunset. And these are songs that as you go through that kind of, it's funny the way Roxy operated with me, because it was something that I liked and something that I had, but it was not something that controlled. It was never like out front, really. I don't remember any period of time it was out front. Maybe a little bit with Siren and that period, maybe Stranded, maybe so, but not for long. I mean, it always was a band that I liked and always I would buy. But anyway, number 16, The Thrill of It All from Country Life, of course. Man, that's the kicker offer, and the wonderful theme of Michael Caroli's wife's chest, or whatever you want to call it. It's funny the way they made a real big deal with that, but that kind of set, and they stayed that way with Strand. They kind of had that same kind of a look too. But anyway, Country Life 16 was there. Then you've got number 15, Captain Obvious, Love Is a Drug, the big hit from Siren, with the guitar playing and the beautiful. It just different. It's just ain't no big thing. It's just and the sound of Jobson too. And I know I talked a lot about the organ, but it's also his piano playing. He was, he doesn't get enough credit really, I think, for that. And I know that Ferry played on some of that, and they did the double thing. But I always thought that, like, the general rule was Ferry played the choppy, the piano, and Jobson played the more legato parts and the organy, the different stuff. But could be wrong. Number 14, let's go with that dance celebration of all dance, the Manifesto, the title track for 1914, Manifesto. Mixed feelings again, good record, but the beginning kind of the beginning. And somebody would say the beginning of the end. What ended up killing them to push it that way. But I remember this, when it came out, that and Flesh and Blood, people were like, "What is going on now?" The Flesh and Blood more like the fact that he had dictated some of the writing and stuff, and it's with Manifesto too. But it just seemed like it wasn't. It just seemed like something different was going to happen. And while something different's going to happen, let's talk about it again with 13 with "Oh Yeah" from Flesh and Blood. Probably the best track for me on that, and I think that when you're talking, I don't know when you're talking that record that's I find like the most of it all to be very similar. I mean, it's very similar in that, and yeah, you could really pick a number of songs from that. I thought of three or four ones that landed just right outside of there, but for me, that's probably the best one. Let's get back to Stranded for Street Life and the kicker with that one too, and the big hit from that, and I just remember these old singles, "The Thrill of It All," uh, "Street Life." It just did it for them, for Virginia Plain, "Sunset." I just remember "Mother of Pearl." I mean, it just has a certain stamp of sophistication and wink wink. So and that's what I loved about it. That's what I wish I would have known more. Like I told you guys about my deal with when I had day with Bryan Ferry on the Bet Noir thing. I wish I would have known more about him then. I would have really enjoyed it more. But yeah, yeah. Let's go to "All I Want Is You" for the next one. Obviously, that's a big one from Country Life. Again, and I have a hard time sometimes sorting through these. I mean, do you put these below, or in a way, like I revere the old stuff more, but when you think about the songcraft, you think about that. Sometimes you have to grudgingly acknowledge, yeah, this maybe they did a little bit better work here. And Anyway, um, for number 10, we're going to go to "The End of the Line" again from Siren, one of the great records there. I like it. I think it's, people can say, well, it's a little bit self indulgent, and it's a little bit down the path of Ferry's deal, but I always bought it, and I thought it was really, really, really. I think it's a really good. I think it fits in the sequence beautifully, and it just ends it well. Number 9, Angel Eyes. Let's go to Manifesto. Back to Manifesto. You say it's going to Manifesto? Yeah, yeah. Angel Eyes is I think, and I think I might have mentioned, I might not have mentioned it when we did the countdown of the records, but that's the one place that's the one place I think that it does succeed, and I think that's the one. It's not really deniable. I mean, it's not something anybody's going to say, "Well, hey, this is rock" or something. Neither is the next one, number 8, but it's impossible to ignore the grandiosity of the statement, and it's kind of like Peggy Lee. Is that all there is? More Than This from Avalon. Just a beautiful song, kind of a birth of a new thing. And when you think about how beautiful the melody of that is and the way it just sits, and it was an usher of the new. Here's the new Roxy music. Here's the new Bryan Ferry. Here's the new sound, and that was really it. Number 7, classic. Classic, 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 classic. Going to For Your Pleasure. Again, you know how much I love that record. Do the Strand, baby, do the Strand. Do the Strand, number 7. I think that's got such a quirky sound to it, and that's really emblematic of what I like about that record. And I hate that Eno left, but you can tell that it's going to happen. And you don't. I don't know. I hate to see that they're gone. I'd like to see them come back again, but you're never going to get to do the Strand thing again. Even if they come back and play it again, it really is a prisoner of the time. The sounds, the synth sounds, everything. Good. Number 6. Let's go. Let's stay there. That era Roxy music, the first one with Sea Breezes. Always one of my favorites, man. People, they may be deep cutting for some people, but uh, I one of my very much highlighted that first great record. And number 5, while we're at it, let's hit the title track For Your Pleasure, man. That's obviously number 5 and one of the big ones. And I particularly like those two records. I do, and I like the other ones not too far from that too. So I mean, I like Eddie Jobson too, but and Eddie Jobson are kind of a different type of a keyboard player, and nothing wrong with Jobson or whatever you want to call it. Nothing wrong with either. He played with Zappa, played with different people too. Um, Played with the UK, didn't he? Wasn't he in UK with Holdsworth? Staying on For Your Pleasure with additions of you, of course, number 4. What am I going to say? I mean, that's a classic. And while we're talking about classics, everybody knows about the Bowie cover and all. Everybody knows about it, but there's the grandiose "If There Is Something" in Roxy Music and the initial record. Introducing the band, "If There's Something" is just, you've never heard a voice like that before. Come crashing into your room. Really, 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 really great. Okay, guys, now we're down to the last 2, and we're going to talk of the last 2. And believe it or not, I'm going to hit for my number 2. I'm going to hit Flesh and Blood with Over You. For my number 2, it is by far one of my favorite tracks, and I know it's a deep cut, but that's the way that it's going to go, and you can always expect a little bit of a curveball from me. I just like that song. I don't know what it is. Number 1, here we go. Both Ends Burning from Siren. Has to be. Something about it that really works. Something about it works in any context of the band. I've seen it live from the time this was out down to the wire, and I think it's fantastic. And so anyway, there you got it. There's my top 20 Roxy Music songs. You guys, do me a favor, leave your list on the bottom. I get a little bit confused sometimes. Sometimes I want some more modern stuff in here. Like, for instance, I could have put in uh, Space Between. That could have been in there too. And so I don't know. I Avalon too is a great, the song Avalon, a beautiful song too. But what are you going to do here? Those just fall right outside of this, and so I was a little confused. I had some things in different places, so I apologize, you guys, with this one anyway. Please leave your thoughts below. Other than that, this is how crazy I am with this thing. But anyway, please leave your thoughts below, and please leave your list below. I want to know. What kind of Roxy you like. Everybody's so many different type of Roxy. But anyway. Thank you guys a lot for watching, and we'll be back at you with something new and fun soon. Thanks.